is to provide adequate background information on the research being proposed. It also shows that researchers are not simply repeating what other people have already done or said. It should be brief and indicate relevant related research that had or is being conducted. References should be included in the literature review. So the literature review serves several important functions. Some of them are: it gives credit to those who have led the groundwork for the proposed research. It also demonstrates your understanding of the theoretical and research issues related to your research question. A literature review also gives a researcher shows his ability to critically evaluate relevant literature information. It also indicates your ability to integrate and synthesize the existing literature. A literature review convinces your reader that your proposed research will make a significant and substantial contribution to the literature, that is, resolving an important theoretical issue or filling a major gap in the literature. So all these are in a literature review. So a researcher will make sure that he use his critical thinking while writing a literature review in a research proposal. Then we move to methodology. Methodology should be approximately 2 to 3 pages also. So the methodology section is very important because it tells your research committee how you plan to tackle your research problem. It will provide your work plan and activities necessary for the completion of your project. So a researcher is going to write in the methodology a research type. Is he been able to do a qualitative or quantitative research? Will he or she collect original data or work with primary or secondary sources? Is the research design descriptive or experimental? And also, a researcher will be able to tell to his research committee the sources. How will researchers select subject or sources? And research methods. What tools and procedures will researchers use to collect and analyze data? Why are these the best methods to answer the research questions? So all these steps are going to be reviewed in a research, in the part of in the methodology part of a research proposal. Continuation of the methodology. So for a researcher, if a researcher is going to do quantitative studies, the methods section typically consists of the following sections. Number one is study design. Is it a questionnaire study or a laboratory experiment? Then selection of research location. A researcher must tell his readers or research committee where is his research location. Where is he been going to do his research project? The location is going to carry out the research project. Subject or participants. Who will take part in your study and what sources are you going to use while carrying out the study? Sample size. A researcher may need to calculate his or her sample size based on the type of study he or she is conducting. Then study instruments. A researcher is being able to tell his research committee what kind of measuring instrument or questionnaires is he or she been used. Why do you choose them? Are they valid and reliable? All these are going to be mentioned in the methodology part of a research proposal. Then data collection. How do you plan to carry out your study? What activities are involved while carrying out that data collection? How long does it take? So all these answers to these questions I've been going to discuss in a methodology part of a research proposal. The last part is data analysis and interpretation. So a researcher must be able to include plans for processing and coding data, computer software to be used, e.g., Statistical Package for Social Sciences, that is SPSS, IFI, INPO, etc. Choice of statistical methods, confidence level, and significance levels, etc. All these have been going to be discussed in a method under data analysis and interpretation in the methodology part of a research proposal. Then we move to our next component, which is expected outcomes. A researcher is going to write approximately 1 page of this expected outcome of his research project while writing a research proposal. So to finish the proposal on a strong note, a researcher can explore the potential implications of the research for the theory or practice by providing expected findings, implications, and contribution to knowledge, suggestions and suggestion for the further studies, limitation of the study, and then conclusion. All these I've been going to discuss under expected outcomes of a research proposal when a researcher is writing a research proposal. So we move to the next component, which is budget and expected schedules. And this is approximately 1 page. This section is applying for research funding. That is, if someone is responsible for your research project, so this section is applying for it for funding of the research project. That is, a researcher is been going to is been able to tell his research committee the costs, exactly how much money need for the research. When he or she is going to do the research project, how much are they going to spend to determine the research budget of how exactly money need for the research. Then travel costs. If there is any need to go to specific locations to collect data. So under this budget and expected schedule, a researcher is being able to state how much he is needed or she is needed. How will researcher get there? How long will he or she spend there, and what will do there? So materials. A researcher will be able to state the materials there, if there any need access to any tools or technologies. Are there training or installation costs for for the research project? Then assistance. If there is any need to hire a research assistant for the project, a researcher will tell his research committee that he is going to hire an assistant for the research project. Then also time. A researcher will be able to tell his research committee how much will he or she need to cover the time spent on the research. So all these have been able to discuss by a researcher in the budget and expected schedules of a research proposal. The last component of a research proposal is references list or bibliography. It doesn't include it in page count. So in this component, a researcher is being able to include proper citations for every source which is being used in his research proposal. Then full publication details should always be included in the reference lists also. Then this is my references that I use for this presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening. So, if a researcher follow these components of how he's going to write a research proposal, he will end up of writing a very excellent research proposal that his research committee will be able to grant him fund for further his research project. Thank you, all of you, for listening.
Thank you, all you, ma'am. Wonderfully and simply words you have explained how to write a research proposal for the participants who are pursuing PhD and those who have already done and they want to refurnish their research work for publication. I want to ask if there are any participant who want to have specify any query from ma'am. Is there anybody who want to ask anything? You are please feel free to ask. You can write into the chat box also. No questions? Oh, Himanshi. Okay, no questions. Okay. Let me summarize those. What it is written. Nice explanation. Aliu ma'am, you are getting feedback with the nice explanation by the participants. So,
Thank you.
uh,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I'm feeling glad to be part of this short term program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I want to make it a little bit summarize what ma'am has explained. Those who have entered late, and it is actually the session is about to wind up. So those who are late, like Sheetal Sangwan and some other students, other participants, ma'am has explained how to write a research proposal, and since from the first slide, ma'am has explained many things that you will have to write the title properly. Title should be specific with your problem. Then ma'am has explained the introduction. You will have to write about the introduction of the problem which you have taken with your variables, and then you will have to find out that whether the work is done repeated or not. If it is repeated, it will be come out by the literature of review. So, ma'am has emphasized that you will have to go through a deep literature of review, but it should not be more than two, three, than that pages. Then the ma'am has explained methodology, and methodology it is a different from method. It is a methodology combination of several things. Like you will have to find out the population sample, the research method. Ma'am has explained that method will be either qualitative or quantitative. Is there any research design you have proposed? Or ma'am has also explained that which tools or the equipments you are going to use to complete your proposed research work. And then ma'am has explained the expected outcomes, and then very important, the budget. If the budget goes beyond the expenditure you have mentioned, it will create a problem. So this is all about that ma'am has explained, and I think it is all over about how to write a good research proposal. If you want to ask still any query, ma'am is still on uh, the screen. Please feel free to ask. Okay, is there any query? Tell me clearly. Otherwise, I'm going to winding up the session. Okay, okay. Ma'am, your session was wonderful and informative. That is the feedback of the participants. I
Thank
deeply
you.
pay my gratitude that
Thank you.
you have spared your very precious time, because physics persons they are very much imbibed with their work, and you are having awarded with the best graduating award with the physics department. So maths and physics are too much students and scholars are too much adorable. So you are
Yes.
a brain with a lot of mathematics and physical equations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I salute you, your hard work, and the feedback link will be shared separately after this session in the group. So those who are engaging with the exams, they need not to fill the feedback, because two things cannot be considered. So actually, Ali ma'am, we are having near about 200 participants, but many of the participants are engaged with the exams.
Okay, I understand. So are doing their exams?
Yes, those we are having in the session, some are scholars, while some are all over the India. So
I
having a deep pleasure as well that you have shared the session, and let's now time to wind up the session.
Yes.
Thank you for the participants. But before leaving the platform, let's have a get together memories. Please turn on your videos, and ma'am, please switch off the sharing screen.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
So those who are in awkward position, please be seated in the right position, and then we will have some clicks. Manjita, can you take some clicks, beta?
Yes, ma'am, I'm clicking.
Okay. Himshika also, Monu also. You all can take the screenshots along with ma'am. And those who are entered late, that will be the fine that you will not have some memories with ma'am. Those who have missed the session, they can join the YouTube live also. We have the session, all the sessions except Q1 on the YouTube. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Maimuna Aliyu Abu Bakar, ma'am. That's the nice
Thank you, ma'am.
presentation and your pleasurable presence here. And you have shared your valuable experience with how to write the proposal. And Himanshi, do you have any query? Okay, okay, okay. So now I'm going to wind up the session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you from this side. And this is all about today. And we will meet tomorrow with another session. And tomorrow we will have another session with Mr. Hamza Sabu Muhammad. And he is also from Nigeria. And ma'am is also from Nigeria, from Mount University, Nigeria, Kano. And it is time to depart now. So it is time
Okay.
to say bye bye. And thank you, ma'am. I acknowledge your
Thank
efforts.
you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Bye bye.